welcome back to the channel, everyone. That was a good performance. Man United won a game 2-0 against Sunderland at home, and it was a good performance. I have to repeat that. It's very rare these days as a Man United fan where you get to watch the game and you see a good performance. The second half wasn't as entertaining, we weren't as adventurous, but we got the job done. We managed the game well. Mount and Sesko with the goals to put us 2-0 ahead. And even before we scored the goals, there was a sense of control. We done well with the ball at our feet. And when we were defending, there wasn't any holes in the midfield like we have seen in previous games under Amorim. We certainly had a good defensive structure. Now, of course, you can say, yes, it is Sunderland. They weren't, going to attack us. They sat back every time we had the ball, but that's the way they play. They have a low block and they basically look to counter with their pacey forwards. Now, for me, I certainly looked at the game with a more sharper eye. I wanted us to not just score goals, but I wanted us to look very dominating when we have the ball, especially since we were playing at home. And we did that. Credit to the way Amorim set up the team. He made the changes necessary. Lammens started in goal and he had an excellent performance, making notable saves that kept us a clean sheet for himself and for the team. There was, in the second half, a one-on-one opportunity that Sunderland created and he saved it. I'm sure you can agree that in previous games, when we had Onana and Bayern, those chances basically became a goal. We conceded in those moments. But Lammens showed himself well enough. There were moments also where the ball was crossed into the box and he claimed it quite confidently and convincingly. And that in itself gives confidence to the defense, gives confidence to the team that they can trust the goalkeeper in those moments, that they are not shaky and nervous. If the player beats me, oh, it might be a goal because our goalkeeper is not that confident. Lammens showed why we signed him, claiming crosses, making saves. This is what a goalkeeper should be doing. And in terms of with the ball at his feet, he kept it simple. He kept going long to Benjamin Sesko, and Sesko either won the ball or we won the second ball. That was another key aspect to why we won the game. Winning those second balls, winning our duels. Yoro had an excellent game, winning 100% of his tackles and 100% of his aerial duels. Ahmad, another player who had an excellent game, 38 out of 38 passes at right wing back. What an excellent performance that is. Mbumo and Mount playing excellently as two attacking midfielders as well, mixing and rotating in between those lines, receiving the ball in tight spaces and linking up with a Ahmad, with a Delo who had an okay game, but again, I don't want him to be playing or starting. He's more of a liability defensively. But we had very, very good attacking play today. You could see the patterns that Amorim is instilling into the team. You can see the quick one-touch play, and you can see the triangles that we are trying to instigate in order to create space for our forwards and then go on the attack. That long ball to Benjamin Sesko and the flick on still remains a tactic and is a very good tactic to use. But that first half, because of our domination, we got into the position that we did, deservingly so. I think Amorim did put out the correct team. And yes, there is still a few things that can be improved upon. We could have gone on to score more goals. But as I said, we weren't as adventurous in the second half. We chose rather to bide our time. There was no need for us to rush forward, considering we are 2-0 ahead and, of course, playing at home, dominating on the ball. We wanted Sunderland to come out in order to make those spaces for us, and then we penetrate them like we did in the first half. But Sunderland were more smart. They didn't allow that much space like they did in the first half, and that is part of the reason why we weren't as adventurous. But nevertheless, we got the clean sheet, we got the 3 points, which was important. Now the international break comes, and we can go into it with a positive feeling. We can train and ensure that we are prepared for the monster rival game, the derby game against Liverpool at Anfield, when the Premier League does come back in 2 weeks' time. That in itself has been a do or die for so many managers, and it might not be for Amorim, but that certainly is a tough game. And the last time we were at Anfield, we drew 2-2. So it's not to say we can't go to Anfield, put in a performance and get a result. It's not impossible. However, now that we've won against Sunderland, the mentality, the mood within the team, within the club is much better. It's at a much happier state than what it would have been if we had to lose to Sunderland. Now we can look ahead to the Liverpool game and be confident. We can have a bit of, how can I say, hope rather than playing guessing games in terms of how the game would go. We have a goalkeeper in Lammens that has showed very good moments, and again will give confidence to the defense and the team when we do show up at Anfield in 2 weeks' time. I'm happy with the performance. I'm happy with the win. I'm happy with the clean sheet. Amorim made the correct decisions. The players played well. Most notably, Mount, of course, because of the goal that he scored. Benjamin Sesko getting his second 2-in-2. Now, of course, his first goal at home. Yoro had a good game. Ahmad had a good game. De Ligt, Shaw, Casemiro played well. Bruno was, as he always is, Bruno. The whole team in itself had a good performance. And when the likes of Mainu came on, Ugarte, Harry Maguire, they basically just came to see the game out. But they still did their job. They did what they needed to do. And these are things that do make Man United much better. A lot of people questioned Ruben Amorim starting Mason Mount over Cunha, but this is rotation. This is the competition within the attacking line. You need to have these type of moments, because if Cunha started, of course, maybe we don't get the goal that Mount did, but maybe he does score in a different moment. But there needs to be competition. Amorim needs to keep every player guessing. Not every player is, how can I say, demanding or deserving of a starting place right now, other than maybe Mbumo, Bruno, arguably Sesko being our only out-and-out striker, Lammens having a good performance, De Ligt. These are a few players who can possibly demand the starting place, but not the likes of Mason Mount and Cunha, Mbumo, etc. He made the changes, we got the win, but it could be different at Anfield. Maybe he goes with Cunha and Mbumo as the two front attacking midfielders. We'll have to wait and see. But it's good to know that we can play either or and still be a very good attacking threat, whether we are trying to play counter-attacking football or we are trying to hold onto the ball to create chances that particular way. It's good to know that we have the options on the bench when we do need to get another goal or we're chasing a game and we need to come back from behind. These are good moments for Amorim to have choices when it comes to attacking players, but of course also defensive players. But as I said, I'm happy with the performance. Let me know who you think was your man of the match. For me, it was Benjamin Sesko, but you let me know in the comment section who your man of the match was. A good game, a good win, and that certainly will lead into a good weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. Till we see each other again soon in the next one, Red Devils. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.